Hello everyone. Today, once again, we're playing a Legacy Constructed League. And if you haven't been following my videos, this might look a little bit weird to you, so check those out first and come back if that is the case. But today we are playing a more traditional The Epic Storm list where we are playing 2 copies of Mox Opal. So over my last 2 videos I've tried 4 and 3 Mox Opal. Today we're playing 2. So this is essentially the list from the last year or so, but with 2 copies of Mox Opal over the 14th land and the flex spot. So the flex spot previously was a 8th discard spell. It's also been a second Empty the Warrens. It's been a preordained. It's been a ton of different things. It's been a Cabal Ritual. I've really been liking Mox Opal. So one of the concessions to playing Mox Opal is playing more artifacts. So you'll see Hope of Girper here. I was playing it main deck over Duress. In the metagame right now, I'm not sure if that's the best decision. So because of that, we're moving Hope back to the sideboard and we're shaving a Mox Opal. If you really want to play 3 Opal, you can. It's just a little bit sketchy with only 15 artifacts, 14 artifacts, really 12 other artifacts. So we're only going to play 2. With the main deck Opals, or with the main deck Hopes, you can get away with more Mox Opal, but I don't know if Hope main deck is right. So until another playable Storm artifact is printed, I don't think you can play 4. You can cut the Rite of Flames, but I've found that you end up wanting more mana producers that are more than +1. So Dark Ritual or LED, a mid-game to late-game Rite of Flame can be that. So this is where we're at. I've tried a list with 3 Opals, 3 Rite of Flame, with the 4th Rite of Flame in the board, with 3 main deck Hope. It was fine, but once again, Hope gets killed a lot, at least against Miracles. So it's better for Game 2 to make them board out their Swords to Plowshares, for example. Other than that, this should look pretty standard. There's no copy of Grape Shot. I've opted for Chain of Vapor instead. There's been a lot of Chalice decks online recently, so this is what we're playing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments section. And we're just going to dive right into a league. I've played 2 leagues with this exact list last night. I went 4-1 and 3-2. So, pretty average. I don't know what I did there. That is the Legacy Challenge. That's not what we need. Although if they started a Legacy Challenge right now, I don't know if there'd be too many people in it. Let's do it. So, yeah, that was the list. I've also been tinkering with... What list is this? This is the list I played in the challenge. 3 Hope, 4 Opal. So this list, you have 19 artifacts. Your Opals turn on a lot, but you end up missing the Duress. Not the Duress, the Rite of Flame. So you have this spare slot here, this spare slot here. They could be Rite of Flames. Also, that could be Rite of Flame, then a Rite of Flame in the board. It's ultimately up to you. But there's a lot of experimentation going on right now, which is why you'll see diminishing returns over Past in Flames. Mana Tea. I have no idea what Mana Tea plays. But we have a pretty good freaking hand. You know what that means. Turn 1 Chalice. Almost exclusively. Just Plains. Just go Plains go. Just do it. Come on. That's not a Plains. Boo. I think the right call here is Dark Ritual. So it's Dark Ritual because every other card in the hand allows you to empty on turn 1. I guess Lotus Petal doesn't, but like they would never take Petal here. So Dark Ritual makes the most sense. If they take Ad Nauseam, we're definitely casting Empty. That's interesting. So we're going to get the basic swamp here. Sorry, I really wish there was just a way to mute all of your Facebook chats. Well, you can go through and mute them as they come in, but there's not just like a mute all. Alright, so 8 goblins is a 3-turn clock unless they deal themselves another damage. Looks like this is Turbo Depths. I could be wrong though. Could also be Nick Fit or something else. Reanimator, really? I was not expecting that. Well, it's not real Reanimator if there's an LED. Some sort of Tin Fins-esque deck. Maybe the Matt Nass Tin Fins. Come on, let's kill him. Give me a ritual. That was not what I needed. And we're just going to pass the turn, unfortunately. Pretty good chance we're dead now. Opponent just passed. So we could go Dark Ritual and then do nothing. Unfortunately, we have to pass. You could tutor Ritual here, but then you're just like flat dead to a discard spell. I'd rather not be in that position. And our opponent does not know how to activate Gristlebrand. But we're dead because we drew a Rite of Flame. Can we do anything? I think we're just flat dead. In theory, we could add Nauseam from 5 if we had gotten the Ritual last turn, but I think that's just wrong because, like, you can't rely on your opponent being bad and not activating the Gristlebrand. So I don't really like Chain of Vapor in this matchup, but we don't really have much else going on, so that's what we're doing. The old tin fins. My chair is back to being very, very loud. Half to mulligan. This is acceptable. Doesn't really matter. We're going to be fetching turn 1. This is interesting. I think we're supposed to take the pedal. So we could take Living Wish. So if they draw land on turn 2, they can just Living Wish for depths. That's not super explosive though. I think I'm just going to take the pedal. Alright, I'm going to Burning Wish for Petition. We can't cast the Petition quite yet unless we draw a Dark Ritual. But it gets us on a path that could theoretically win. Wow. That was a very lucky draw. There are no 4s in our deck, so we can go as low as 2 life if need be. Cool. That was a turn 3. A little bit slow, but ultimately I think it's probably fine. You could argue that we should be burning more bounce spells for the Dark Depths plan, but I'd rather just not dilute our deck. Our opponent mulliganed. And they've kept 6 and put a card on the bottom. That's a really good draw. So the key to casting Dark Petition on turn 1 is 9 mana. So think of Burning Wish as -2, Dark Petition is -2, and then Ad Nauseam as 5. So we can go Badlands Petal, Dark Ritual Rite of Flame, LED, and that's all we've got. So how much mana is that? Well, it's 8. It's not 9. So it's probably best to just pass the turn, and then next turn we have it guaranteed. Otherwise we can empty. Meaning our opponent to not kill us or disrupt us this turn. And that looks like a turn 2 Merit Lage. So we probably lose the crop rotation here, but it's kind of just something you have to accept. And we did not need another Chrome Mox. In fact, we would rather that be in our deck. So here it's best to play out the Moxes before your LED in case they just happen to have something that destroys an artifact. So now we'll hold control, activate this. Okay, so what's kind of nice about our current list is we have 2 Mox Opal as starters, and we have 2 Chrome Moxes in play, so we don't need to turn on Metalcraft. We'll stop there. We even have a Chain of Vapor to slow them down. Alright, so we have won match 1 against the Tin Fins. That match was a good example of how great Dark Petition is in the sideboard. While we're waiting, shameless plug, theepicstorm.com/shop. Here you can get Black Belcher t-shirts, sweet-ass Forcible playmat, stickers, throw them in your deck box. Pretty sweet. One of my personal favorite things in the store is the baseball t-shirt. Huge baseball fan. I wear this shirt a lot. It's pretty great. It does run a tiny bit small, and then the second favorite thing in my store is definitely the pint glass. So if you like the Epic Storm, highly recommend picking up some sweet merch. I have no idea what this person plays. They also have a very long name. Why would they do this to me? I have to type this shit out. Esoteric. Weightlifting. And we are on the draw again. Weightlifters. Probably play Eldrazi. Wow. How good am I? Don't do it. Did I call this or fucking what? Alright, we want to draw a red card. Alright, we're going to ponder. We want to find an opal or a petal. So this guarantees a turn 2. I think it's probably best to just play it safe. This also protects us from Thought Knot, but we could get crushed by a Chalice. It's a really tough decision. I found that against these decks, you really just want to be as fast as possible. I think I'm going to shuffle because... We have 4 Infernal Tutor that win the game immediately. We have 4 Petal, 2 Opal, so it's 10 cards. I'm going to shuffle. This is really close, but I'm just going to go for it. Bam! That's how we do. Get wrecked, nerd. No one likes Eldrazi players anyway. So winning game 1 means that if there is a game 3, we are guaranteed to be on the play. $25 card ad nauseam, pretty average. And I'll go the Ponders. I always wonder if we should be boarding in an empty on the draw, but it just makes your ad nauseam so bad. They also have ratchet bombs and stuff. I'm just going to leave it as is. Just waiting for our opponent. So Burning Wish represents an answer to Chalice or Thorn. And then we have LED Tutor. On top of that, we have a Thoughtseize. So this is definitely a keep. there's a chalice. And that's a thorn. Fortunately for us, we do have our answer already. We just need Thought Knot Seer to not happen. Looks like they're on the ramp version. Typically does not play Wasteland. I'm going to Thoughtseize here, and hopefully we can hit whatever their big spell is. Get that trash out of here. Trash. Give me that Pulverize. Now we just need something not bad to happen. No bad things. That's what we're going for here. You can have an Eldrazi Temple. Pulverize is great. Brainstorm, Pulverize, same set. Ponder, Thoughtseize, same set. The Epic Storm, great deck. You like my bad marketing right there? I hope you did. So our opponent's probably going to cast an Endbringer here. It wouldn't make sense if they took this line if they didn't. Alright, so we're going to start off with this Pulverize. We're going to float a red. Cast Brainstorm. Do we want to cast Brainstorm? We have a guaranteed ad nauseum right now. Let's rewind that back. We're just going to go for the ad naus. There's no reason of risking an ad nauseum to cast a Brainstorm. Hold control. Let's see some zeros. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see some more. And that's the game. We're just going to stop there. It does not pay to be an Eldrazi player, let me tell you. You lose your friends, probably family. Your opponents don't like you. Legacy community doesn't like you. It's just a rough, rough life. Just don't do it. Why would you do it to yourself? The old Hellbent the natural way. Probably didn't need to do this. I'm just wasting time. Which means that I'm going to get absolutely trashed in my next round. Thrashed. Probably a better term to use there. Don't even need to break the LED, but we're going to. Oh yeah. There's a turn 4 ad nauseum. So far we faced Tin Fins, and then we faced Eldrazi, and we are 2-0. The light I have over my desk is very harsh, so it's whiting me out. I normally don't have it on, but it's kind of dark in here if I don't, and I value my vision, so I suppose I could probably get a cover or something for it. And once again, we're just waiting on an opponent. Tick-tock. Tick-fucking-tock. Another shameless plug. The token pack. So, you get 6 mana symbols, you get 2 goblin tokens, a storm counter, and then a ugly Bryant Cook token. Feel free to rip that motherfucker up. You don't need to keep it. I don't care. You can also just turn it over. So one of the things that I do is I just sleeve it like this, and then that's my sideboard divider. So these sell pretty quickly. We started with like 160 of these, I want to say, and now we're already down to 89. Buy one. They're pretty cheap, $8. So they're like $3 for shipping, $3 or $4 more for shipping. Yeah, the token pack. Buy one. Bunch of opponents I've never faced, but we've won a die roll, which is fairly unique. I've kept worse hands. Turn 1 Thoughtseize plus empty the warrens for a buttload. And they're on miracles. We're going to take this brainstorm. One of the best ways of beating miracles is to go underneath them. So right now we put them on a 1-turn clock without manipulation to draw Terminus. Pretty good for being on the play. Our opponent missed their land drop. Wow. Alright. So, in comes Hope of Girper. The tough part of this is deciding what to take out. So, I know that I've talked to some people and they think that we should be taking out Chrome Moxes. My issue with this is it makes Mox Opal really bad. So I don't mind taking out one Mox because we are boarding in 3 artifacts. I kind of like taking out a Ponder. And then maybe a discard spell. Because we are... That brings us up to 10 disruption. And we want to stay fast. That or it's a Rite of Flame. Let's do a Rite. Let's try this out. I try different things all the time. I don't really know what's correct. I just make guesses based on educated things. Like, in this matchup, you want to be fast. That's how you beat Miracles. You don't beat them by trying to play a long game with a fast deck. So, that's the thought process here. You don't want to board out all of your mana. This hand's fine. We're going to cast a turn 1 Thought Season to turn 2 Hope. One nice thing about Mox Opal is it's not card disadvantage. Drawing 2, both of them is not ideal though, but we do have this Brainstorm to help fix that. And I'm glad I let off on the Mire. That was actually why I did it, because we had the 2 deltas. I just didn't say it out loud, but that was 100% why I let off on the Mire. You didn't need any more lands anyway. Nice Surgical. They did not shuffle their library with their Ponder for what it's worth. Alright, we're going to put back one of these. And then the Swamp. I'd rather have both copies of Hope in case of Terminus. And we're going to fetch up the basic Swamp here, just to play around back to basics. There's literally no reason to not fetch up basics here, if you can't afford to play around it. So our best draw on our turn is definitely Ad Nauseam. I don't know if we marked off the Strand. I think maybe we know about that. So what we could have done is sack Hope right there. And then from there... Ooh, Canonus is real rough. From there we could have made it so they can't play spells this turn, but they could have cast Canonist anyway. So now we're looking for Burning Wish for Massacre. And they accidentally did not attack. If they want to take our tutor to allow us to draw a Burning Wish, I'm okay with that. Alright, we're just going to pass. So the Jace makes us guaranteed dead. Even if that was a wish. Alright, so we get to be on the play this time. I really don't like boarding in the answers for Canonist because I don't think it helps our deck at all. So I'm probably just going to leave things as they are. Just try to be a faster, better deck. Just diluting your deck with bounce spells is only going to hurt you. Ah, this hand is so close. Unfortunately, I think it's a mulligan. This isn't good either. Who needs lands? Alright, we're just going to concede this one. That was pretty unfortunate. So we could have kept our 7 and just passed, but I don't think that's the right move to make. And so that Mox Opal is one of two slots. It's either the 8th discard spell or the 14th land, which would have been a Scalding Tarn. So Scalding Tarn actually isn't bad there. However, when I do think when you evaluate cards, you have to evaluate what they would be. So that's an instance in which a Scalding Tarn would have been better than a Mox Opal. That said, I've had plenty of matches so far where Mox Opal is just by way better than a Scalding Tarn could have been. Yama Killer. I faced them the other day. I can't think of what they were playing off the top of my head, but I'm sure my spreadsheet will tell us. Looks like Grixis Control. This is definitely a keep. So what's nice is if this petal resolves, they have to force this Chrome box, or we can empty. A Goblins is still really good. Pitch to Daze, so they're probably on Delver. Yep, blue-red. So 8 Goblins might not be enough against blue-red Delver. So one thing that's accidentally very nice about our current situation is that chain lightning is shut off. So this is actually bad because in a normal scenario we would have a grape shot that would win the game right now. But we're currently playing to not lose. No main deck fluster. Cool. The old natural tendrils from the board. So I do like the empty plan against them, although they can race it. Just makes your deck a little bit better against force. Alright, we're now on the draw. It's a pretty good opener. Turn one empty. So the question is, do you go for the empty or the ad nauseum? If the ritual resolves, I'd be inclined to think they don't have a force. And I was correct. Alright, we're going to stop there. And the first thing I'm going to do is cast Burning Wish. What this does is it plays around Surgical Extraction. Our opponent can daze, but they won't be able to Surgical or Burning Wish in the graveyard. And I'm just going to grab Tendrils. Cool. So far, we've beaten everything where we haven't mulliganed to Oblivion. Mox Opal there. Definitely better than a Scalding Tarn. That said, if it was a discard spell, we could have had a turn 1 Duress into an empty. That said, if our opponent had 2 dazes or daze plus force, we would lose. Just waiting for our 5th round opponent. I've done enough shameless plugs for tonight, so I won't bother you with that. This is a very long wait. So during the beginning of this video, I mentioned how I have 2 new videos. They're right here on the homepage. You can go check them out. 1.1 and 1.3. Also, happy birthday, Jeremy. I made this meme for you earlier. Show and tell is the hardest part of your birthday. Ms. Frosty, Miracle's Master. We've opened up an absolutely nutter butter hands. So what we want to do is we really want to draw a land. Mox Opal would also work. Chromox would work, but less. That was pretty good. So what this allows us to do is duress and then dark ritual and kill them. Double force. That's fucking rough. Okay. Jeez. Brainstorm's pretty good. Maybe by playing out the Opal, we'll get them to cast Council's Judgment. I wouldn't mind our opponent tapping out. But it's probably just a Jace the Mind Sculptor. And they've opted to Fate Seal. And they put it right on top. So, if our opponent forces, we have a win. And if they don't, we can get Past in Flames. Predict. So we really only lose if their last two cards here are Force blue card. And it looks like we were lucky enough to be able to combo through double force with. We could use some more mana though, I'll say that. But fortunately we've already revealed the empty, so we can go down to 2. We just revealed an LED and a Petal and an Island. Chrome Mox, LED, Badlands, Burning Wish. We'll stop. Let's not forget our land drop. Just Black Belchin. Alright, he's had enough. Alright, so once again, Hope of Europe coming right on in. We're going to shave a Chrome Mox, a Rite of Flame, and a Ponder. We were pretty fortunate that our opponent force-willed the Burning Wish. That's what I was trying to set it up to look like, and they just happened to force it. If they didn't, we were probably in a rough spot. This is a keep. And they shuffled with their ponder. Lead off on the duress. Same reason, not to expose ourselves to the Thoughtseize. That is a lot of Jace the Mind Sculptors. No land here would be very good. Island is still better than a fetch. We have discard spells to waste, so it's okay if we toss one here. I just want to make sure this ponder resolves. If he decides to burn Brainstorm, we're even more okay with that, because they can't go an extra card deep on the following turn. Alright, so it looks like they found lands. We're going to shuffle these because they don't actually advance our game plan. Another ponder. I like all of this. So with the dress on top, we're free to burn this Thoughtseize. Here comes the Jace. So if this Jace Brainstorm is surgical on our duress, or just surgical in general, plus the force of will, we would lose. It might have been better to just duress first. That's probably a misplay on my part, because they could surgical in response to the fetch. We're looking for some mana. Alright, so we can still play our land. All our red sources are gone. Alright, I'm gonna stop there. That'll do. And that league was 4-1. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So this is the was that I've been playing. Oh, this is not our list in the background. I'm sorry. It is a false representation of what we have actually played. So this is the list we played. This is what I've been playing. It's been great. This is what I would recommend moving forward. For those of you playing SCG Booster this weekend, if I were playing in the Legacy event, I would play this. Two Max Local has been great. As you can see, there's games where you have it on turn 1 with other artifacts, and it's absolutely bonkers. I think the best games are where you can brainstorm or ponder on turn 1 and then fetch into discard. I've had that happen a number of times, and it feels like you've essentially time watched your opponent on turns. One cool thing you can do with Mox Opal is you can play a Lotus Petal, play Opal, play Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox's imprint on the stack, cast Brainstorm, so that way you know what to imprint. I've had that happen a couple times. There's a bunch of cool tricks within this deck if you really take the time to learn them. Same thing with Chrome Mox and Ad Nauseam. You can Ad Nauseam with the Chrome Mox shirt on the stack, for example. Hope of Cure. We didn't really get a whole lot of use of it in this league, but I still really, really like it against Miracles. Yeah, that was this league. A reminder, shop theepicstrong.com. Cool.